Hello Edexcel students, we've done it for paper 1, let's do it for paper 2 now. We're looking at hot topic areas, hey, not just for paper 2, but potential for paper 3 as well. Remember what your job is? You're giving an extra bit of weight to these topic areas. 10-15% of your time should be devoted extra towards these, so that if they come up, you're laughing, you've got the knowledge, you're ready to go, you can answer the essays very easily. But also if they don't come up and other topic areas feature more so, you're not disregarding anything, you're still learning everything in the specification for you to smash those essays as well. Also know this isn't just for 25 markers, this is for short essays too. And also know that this is one video of many in my revision for 2025 exams playlist. Great that you're watching this one, but make sure you're watching them all. I've got a lot more to come as well that are all going to be uploaded in that playlist. Those videos are geared towards you smashing your final exams and revising amazingly for these exams. So make sure you've watched them all. But let's dive in. Hot topic 1 for macro. Know the pros and cons of free trade very well. Ever since Brexit, the UK has come out, our politicians have come out, and they've said that we want the UK to be a global leader of free trade. We want to champion free trade. And the way we're doing that is by signing free trade deals with many countries around the world, or attempting to sign these deals. So pros and cons of trade linking to trade deals we've already signed or trade deals we're attempting to sign could easily be an essay question. The opposite of that is the pros and cons of protectionism. I mean, look what's happening at the moment with Trump and his crazy tariffs. Trump has been proposing these for a long time, so that could still be an essay question even though it's recently occurring. He's been talking about it for a while. But also Joe Biden before Donald Trump was a very protectionist president. He intensified Trump's trade war with China, but he also started his own one within climate industries, imposing massive tariffs on the import of Chinese electric cars, semiconductor chips, lithium-ion batteries, solar panels, all from China. So yeah, knowing the pros and cons of protectionism linked to all these themes will be excellent revision. And now to macro policy. We know this is going to feature very heavily paper 2, paper 3, yes, you need to be revising this topic area very, very strongly. But there are two sides to macro policy, the easy side, the harder side. The easy side would be expansionary monetary, expansionary fiscal policy, supply side policies just to shift LRS right and boost potential growth. You'll be lucky if you get questions about that. That could happen, but that would be quite easy, you'll be lucky. The harder side is actually more common, you need to be ready for that, because the harder side is more theme 4, the easier side is more theme 2. And often when the harder side comes up, it's linked to major themes in the UK economy or elsewhere. So we need to know what the harder side is theoretically. We also need to know what this context is. So on the monetary policy side, the major theme in the UK but also across the developed world has been higher interest rates, contractionary monetary policy via higher interest rates to tame higher than target rates of inflation. So a question about the impact of that, the effectiveness of that, the limitations of that, the pros and cons of that more generally, whether it's to reduce inflation or not. Just make sure you know the pros and cons. Make sure you know that side of monetary policy very well. And it's not just the opposite of expansionary monetary policy. There are more novel points you can make there. When it comes to fiscal policy, contractionary fiscal policy has been a major theme in the UK via tax rises, big time, but also cuts to government spending. So knowing the pros and cons of both tax rises, in particular direct tax rises, and cuts to government spending separately, pros and cons of both. But also knowing whether that's an appropriate way to reduce a budget deficit, to improve government finances, whether it's necessary. Know your pros and cons basically about that. Outside of the UK, Argentina have been using very heavy austerity policies. Scotland have gone even more dramatic with their fiscal policy, raising income tax more than the rest of the UK. Major themes that you might get questions about. But also within fiscal policy there has been a big debate whether we need to be more expansionary. So is it time for government spending increases? Is it time for tax cuts? So debate, tax cuts versus tax rises, expansionary fiscal policy versus contractionary. Just know your pros and cons of everything basically, and that you're revising the harder side. Linked to that, guys, it's all well and good knowing the theory, especially the harder side, but you need to know the context as well. I'm going to be releasing videos about UK fiscal and monetary policy themes to help you with the context for paper 2 or maybe paper 3 if it comes up there. So all well and good in your revision to get the theory nailed. Just make sure when those videos are uploaded in my revision for 2025 exams playlist that you watch those as well. They're going to be absolutely crucial so that you know the theory and the context for these essays. When it comes to supply side policies, we need potential growth in the UK. So a simple essay about discussing supply side policies to boost potential growth. Yes, be ready for it. But also supply side policies to reduce economic inactivity, a slightly different endpoint. Just make sure you're aware of that theme as well. I have a video about supply side policies to achieve different themes, to achieve different goals. Again, in my revision for 2025 exams playlist. Check that out so that you're aware of the context as well as the theory. Next is development economics, a massive part of theme 4, a huge part of the course. You need to be learning it well, revising it very well, all of it. But if there are some areas I'd weigh up, a recent theme in the UK has been cuts to foreign aid spending. It's been a very recent theme, yeah, but over the last couple of years, there have been more and more cuts made to foreign aid commitments. So whether that's the right move or not, knowing the pros and cons of that, the impacts of that for a developing country, just be ready, knowing your pros and cons of aid. But also more generally, growth and development essays, foreign direct investment for development essays, trade versus aid for development. Just know these topic areas in particular, weigh them up a little bit more in your development revision, but just revise the whole topic really well, ready for a big essay on it this year. Good advice. Next is the topic area of exchange rates. In the last couple of years, the major global theme has been exchange rate depreciation. Many countries suffering from weak exchange rates. The UK is a prime example, the euro, another good example, but also developing country currencies like the Nigerian naira, Argentina peso, Turkish lira, Egyptian pound, Indian rupee, but even the Japanese yen, a more advanced nation with a very, very weak currency. The one exception to that has been the dollar. Up until recently, it's been very, very strong. So an essay about the impacts of a weak exchange rate or a strong exchange rate we need to be ready for, knowing how to evaluate those impacts too, but also know that on January the 1st, 2023, Croatia entered the Eurozone. You might get an essay about the pros and cons of Euro membership or the pros and cons of general monetary union membership. So make sure you're revising that as well. Next is income inequality and poverty. You've got to be revising this well. So you've got the causes of income inequality and poverty, know that, but also policies to bring down inequality and poverty. You've got your generic policies, so know how those policies work in analysis, know how to evaluate them, but also make sure you're revising more novel approaches that have been discussed recently, like wealth taxation and universal basic income. There are videos on my channel to guide you with that, but just make sure this area you're revising well. Next, if there are two macro indicators I focus on, it will be growth and unemployment. In particular, focusing on the consequences of growth, the consequences of high unemployment, i.e. the costs and benefits of both. That could be a big essay somewhere in your paper 2 exam or in your paper 3. Revise it well. And then you must learn financial markets well, in particular, the significance of financial market regulation to promote macroeconomic stability. In 2023, when interest rates were rising across the developed world, it triggered a wide variety of bank failures, mainly in the US, but also that was kind of spreading across to Europe too. So knowing the importance of regulation to prevent bank failure, to prevent systemic risk, but also knowing the causes and consequences of bank failure is absolutely imperative to add to your revision. If this does come up as a big essay, you need to be able to do it. It's not difficult material, revise it well, you'll realise it's quite simple and it's very interesting. And lastly, across Europe and in the UK, we have had a major terms of trade shock as a result of a sudden surge in the price of imports, in particular increases in price of gas, electricity, food and fuel. That is a terms of trade shock, but applied to a developed country. So knowing the causes and consequences of a change in the terms of trade, this would be a worsening, a deterioration in the terms of trade, is something most students totally ignore in their revision, but it's a core part of Theme 4. Learn that well. So there you have it guys, big hot topic areas for you to weigh up for paper 2, but also paper 3 exams this year. Make sure you focus carefully and follow the advice here, but also that you're just weighing these up, you're not disregarding other parts of the course, so that no matter what the essay is, you'll be able to do it great to a high standard. Also make sure you're watching all the videos in my revision for 2025 exams playlist. There is a lot more to come, all are going to be uploaded there, all to help you hit these top grades in your final exam. So thank you so much for watching this one, stay tuned for many more, can't wait to see you in those videos. Thanks for watching guys.